chance to sneak away for an afternoon deer hunt with my recurve. Hopefully, this is a high traffic area. I've shot a lot of deer in here, and I'm not looking for a trophy. I'm using my recurve, so it's something I don't do a lot. I've been practicing quite a bit with it, so hopefully everything will be good. I'm shooting pretty decent, so if anything comes along, hopefully a mature animal. I'm just looking for something for my freezer. So stick with me and we'll see if we can get it done.
I was treated to one of those afternoons that we all love as outdoorsmen and women, with turkeys, deer, and plenty of other critters moving about to help pass the time. Warm afternoon breezes blew while does interacted with their fawns. Afternoon stretched into evening, and with no sign of a mature buck, I climbed down. After a minor altercation with a tree branch, I headed home.
Well, it's October 23rd in the afternoon. Thought I'd slip into this back stand here. There's an increasing amount of traffic. I've signed the last few days, so I'm hoping that things are starting to kick in pretty good here now. I'm seeing deer, they're moving, but more, morning and evening. Pretty soon they'll be in the pre-rut phase, that chase phase that we all love. I've got my recurve with me again today. I'd like to try and put one on the ground with the recurve this year if I can. So stick with me and we'll see if we can do some good.
Closed captioning in today's episode is brought to you by CANUCK. The mere sight of this up-and-comer was a refreshing change from the usual does and fawns, and hopefully signals the beginning of the pre-rut. I must say, however, I left the stand that day feeling good about the whitetail populations in our area, thanks to the work of the Ministry of Natural Resources and conservation groups like the Quality Deer Management Association. This portion of today's episode is brought to you by BERGARA. Our barrels make the difference. The next afternoon found me reuniting with an old friend. A buck from a previous day's hunt was hunkered down in a thicket near my stand.
Back in that same stand I was in last night. As you saw, that buck came in and he bedded 50 or 60 yards from me for like 3 hours. A couple of times he stared up here and he looked right into my soul. But he didn't give me an opportunity. And then that, I think it was a button buck or something, because it was all by itself. And, I'm just speculating, but he was 15 yards from me for a good while. So, no doe, nothing with him. So, I think it probably was a button buck that just kind of got pushed away from its mother. Not old enough to hang around with the other bucks. Their bachelor groups are pretty much broken up now anyway. But last night was a huge full moon. It's like daylight walking in here this morning. So, I'm not real optimistic, but you never know. Can't kill him on the couch, so here we are. Stick with me, we'll see if we can put one down with the recurve. It's October 28th. We've had days and days of rain and more rain. I think that it stopped for this afternoon. I'm hoping that'll create a little bit of a window for the deer to move, get up and feed, do a little chasing around. Stick with me. I got the old faithful 10-point today because the ground is so saturated with water. I didn't want to use the recurve in case it, extended a blood trail that I might have to follow. And then, caused a problem with finding a deer. So, stick with me. We'll see if we can get the 10-point busy here and shoot something.
Now this little buck is no trophy, but I'm not a trophy hunter. At this point, I'm looking at filling my freezer. This portion of today's episode is brought to you by PSE Archery.
Well, that buck passed behind the stand. I called him up. With a grunt call, he came back. He started walking cautiously behind, kind of on an odd angle. And I committed the cardinal sin of crossbow hunting. I didn't check to see the clearance on the crossbow limb. And as you probably realized, as I triggered the crossbow, it hit the camera arm. It's one of the weird things when you're self-filming, especially with whitetail hunts. You just never know. I couldn't get the camera pushed over any farther. I was standing on a limb here trying to shoot. So I mean, it was just was not meant to be. Better luck next time. I'm gonna pack it up and get the heck out of here. Well, it's opening morning of the shotgun hunt here in Ontario. I've heard a couple of shots. It's early. It's been raining for like ever. A day of rain turned into weeks of rain, and next thing you know, everything is flooded here. I'm gonna get quiet because the deer are in prime chase phase. So stick with me. We'll see if we can put something on the ground here with the old shotgun.
It didn't take long, and there were two nice does making their way in my direction.
Well, there's a nice big fat doe. Because in Ontario we can party hunt, and I'm gonna sit here quietly because there's bucks running all over the place. Really tough to film them right here. They're running around chasing does and stuff, but the problem is that they're in the brush and that, so I apologize if the footage isn't real good at times here, but got some meat in the freezer. My wife's always saying, you know, get a nice big doe, get a doe. Well, that's a nice doe, so now I can start hunting for some horns. Well, that was insanity. That buck, he committed suicide. He walked right up to the stand. You know, when you're self-filming hunts such as this, especially whitetail hunts, when a nice buck like that, big wide 8-point, comes and walks right up to your stand, gives you a good angle so you can get him in frame and get him in focus. You got to take them. It doesn't happen every day, so I'm really pleased with that. That's it. We got our venison. It's going to be a full freezer this winter, which is fantastic. You know, I was really happy to get these deer down, get it taken care of. And in Ontario here, we can party hunt. So, you know, when you get to hunt with,
friends and your wife, and that, you know, it just makes it so much nicer. You know, these deer are going to be good eaters. It's early in the chase phase, so they haven't got a lot of, you know, pent-up testosterone and lactic acid pumping through their veins. So I think it's going to be good meat. I'm really happy to have it, and I was happy to have you guys along to see it. No blood trailing involved on this one.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time for more exciting hunting action on Anthony Dixon's Line of Sight.